Eventually, a government would be established by men who were inspired of God to prepare a place for the gospel of Jesus Christ to be restored upon the earth. God bless America.
Sing this. Sing the first verse.
While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies,
to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
With the restoration of the gospel, God's people would need a place to settle where they would no longer be harassed by others, a place where they could worship their God in peace. Under the direction of Brigham Young, a prophet of God, they were led to a valley beyond the Rocky Mountains. Then the call came for all the faithful to gather.
Israel, Israel, God is calling you from lands of woe. Babylon the great is falling. God shall all her towers o'erthrow. Come to Zion, come to Zion. Ere his floods of anger flow. Come to Zion, come to Zion. Ere his floods of anger flow. Israel, Israel, canst thou linger still in error's gloomy ways? Mark out judgment's pointing finger, justify no vain delays. Come to Zion, come to Zion. Zion's walls shall ring with praise. Come to Zion, come to Zion. Zion's walls shall ring with praise. shall ring with praise, shall ring with praise.
As missionaries were sent out to spread the word, the new converts began to come. Missionaries were first sent to areas within the United States, like Alabama.
Oh, I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I'm going to the Rockies before the truth was seen. It rained all night the day I left, the weather it was dry. The sun so hot I froze myself, Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me, for I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I had a dream the other night when everything was still. I thought I saw Susanna coming down the hill. A dark red rose was in her hair, a tear was in her eye. I said, I'm coming from the south, Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me, for I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. And when I'm in the valley, and then I'll look around, and if I find Susanna, I'll fall upon the ground. But if I do not find her, this man shall surely die. And when I'm gone and buried, Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me, for I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee.
There was often dancing and singing along the trail. Regarding dancing, Brigham Young said, "Those who have kept the covenants and served their God, if they wish to exercise themselves in any way to rest their minds and tire their bodies, go enjoy yourselves in the dance." Unfortunately, as these new converts came, life wasn't always a bed of roses on the trail. Issues that the pioneers dealt with were not much different than what we experience today. For example, sometimes what might be one person's heart's desire is not the heart's desire of another.
I told you that I loved you, that it was true. I called you my darling, you said I'd always would. But now you've gone and left me, I don't know what to do. So, my little darling, I write these words to you. You done stomped on my heart, and you mashed that sucker flat. You just you stomped on my aorta. You started going out with guys. I felt us drift apart. And with every step you took, it was a stomp upon my heart. Now, I only hope that someday, when you get them low down blues, in some smoky honky-tonk, you'll look down at your shoes and think about that tender heart you crushed beneath your soles. With your clog-busting stompers, you left my heart so full of holes. You done stomped on my heart, and you mashed that sucker flat. You just you stomped on my aorta. You started going out with guys. I felt us drift apart. With every step you took, it was a stomp upon my heart. And every step you took, it was a stomp upon my heart.
Eventually, the call came for missionaries to go to foreign lands. The church has had a presence in the island of Ireland since at least 1840, when John Taylor first preached in Newry. He and other missionaries converted a number of Irish people, forming a branch in Hillsborough, County Down. Many of the converted Irish saints emigrated in order to escape poverty and later famine, and also to join their fellow saints in Zion.
From a boring green came a brown colleen, and she smiled as she passed him by. She looked so sweet from her two bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair.
Such a coaxing elf, sure I shook myself for to see was I really there.
From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown colleen that I met in the County Down.
Sure I shook myself and I said, says I, and I looked with a feeling rare. And I says I, to a passer-by, who's the maid with the nut brown hair.
He smiled at him and he says he, that's a gem of all Ireland's crown. It's Rosie McCann from the banks of the Bann, she's the star of the county down.
From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the brown colleen that I met in the county down.
At the harvest fair she'll be surely there, and he'll dress in his Sunday clothes.
With my shoes shone bright and my hat cocked right for the maid from the southbound rows. No pipe I'll smoke, no horse I'll yoke, till my plough turns rust-coloured brown. Till I'm riding by my own fireside, it's the maid of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the brown colleen that I met in the county down.
At first, these new converts traveled by covered wagon. But as the number of those coming increased, the expense of the wagons and the oxen to pull them became more than what many could afford. For this reason, President Brigham Young established the Perpetual Emigrating Fund Company in 1849. The fund gave immigrants a loan to help them pay for travel and supplies. But because of financial problems, the fund was depleted in 1855. Consequently, President Young became concerned about how to help the poor who wanted to emigrate in 1856. It was then that he proposed travel by another means, one which was less expensive and would provide an opportunity for all who wanted to come: the handcart.
We would like to dedicate this number to the young women who participated in the Women's Pull in March. Those looking were touched by the courage that was displayed as these girls reached the top of the hill and viewed what lay ahead. Then, without hesitation, pushed forward in a steep, downward descent. We also felt gratitude for the young men who reverently watched from afar, silently cheering for their success. This remarkable event can be a stepping stone for future endeavors these youth will experience when facing other challenges in life. They can choose to move forward without fear and with faith in Jesus Christ.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be with Christ as guide to those who see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. Filled with faith I can do all my Father wants me to. As Christ shows the way to obtain all he hath, I'll find joy along the path, saying, come what may. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be with Christ as guide to those who see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. Choose the right, shun the wrong. Together we can be strong. In the world we see, in the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be with Christ as guide to those who see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
Pulling handcarts through rough terrain and up rocky hills would not be easy. Two unfortunate handcart companies started the journey late in the season and then experienced early snowfall. And to make matters worse, Brigham Young was not aware that additional saints would be coming that year. When the report came to him that these companies were on their way, he was alarmed and called an emergency meeting for the next day. In that meeting, he declared, "Many of our brethren and sisters are on the plains with handcarts, and they must be brought here. We must send assistance to them. That is my religion. That is the dictation of the Holy Ghost that I possess. It is to save the people." He then called for wagons, mule teams, teamsters, and flour, and they were to leave as soon as they were able. He called for men of faith, stout-hearted men.
We are some men who are stout-hearted men, who will fight for the right they adore. Start me with 10 who are stout-hearted men, and I'll soon give you 10,000 more. Shoulder to shoulder and bolder, we ride as a grind to the fore. Then there's nothing in the world and more. Shoulder to shoulder and boulder, as they go to the fore. When there's nothing in the world can halt or mar a plan. When stout-hearted men can stick together man to man. We are some men who are stout-hearted men who will fight for the right they adore. Struck me with men.
As some of you know, our youth participated in a reenactment of the Pioneer Handcart experience last March at the Grasslands in Dallas. It was a life-changing experience for many of them. Why did the early pioneers leave their beloved homelands in Europe and in the eastern United States, traveling by covered wagon, foot, and handcarts under harsh weather conditions? To answer a prophet's call and the fire of faith that burned within them.
Look at this place, isn't it grand? And did you see we even have a band? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? I've got a mess kit and cozy rain cape, extra dry socks and adhesive tape. Looking around here, you'd think, sure, she's got everything. I've got pillows and blankets aplenty. I've got Band-Aids and gauze pads galore. You want Twinkies to sneak? I got 20. They're so swell. Please don't tell. Sister Marshall hit the floor. We're seeking a place free from scorn and sorrow, to worship our God who we love and follow. We head towards that hill.
What do you call that?
Rocky Ridge. Led by a prophet, we'll get it at last. Faith is required to get there safely. Trekking along towards the...
Which way are we going again?
west. Then we'll be home, such peace never known. A place of great joy and progress. Come with us and see how great life can be. Be part of our world.
Look at this place, isn't it fun? Feeling quite brave, I think I need to run. Looking around here, you think, sure, he's got everything. Looking quite tough, and actually quite good. Won't all the girls just be stunned as they should? Wouldn't you think I'm the guy who has everything? I've got Twizzlers and ding-dongs of plenty. I've got hair creams and colognes galore. You want cinnamon bears? I've got plenty. Come on by, don't be shy. I can get more. We're seeking a place free from scorn and sorrow, to worship our God who we love and follow. We head towards that hill.
What do you call that?
Rocky Ridge. Led by a prophet, we'll make it at last. Faith is required to get there safely. Trekking along towards that. Which way are we going again? West. Then we'll be home, such peace never known. A place of great joy great life can be part of our world.
We are interrupting our programming for an emergency public announcement. A man by the name of Salty Sam is on the loose and has been notorious for taking advantage of the innocent. Please be on the lookout for him. He has a bushy black beard and is often seen in a ski cap and a green and black cape. If you see him, contact the police immediately.
Well, we found him, and he's up to his old dirty tricks again. He's after poor Sweet Sue's deed to her property, but she does not want to sell. Let me tell you about it. Well, I plopped down in my easy chair, and I turned to Channel 2, where a bad gunslinger named Salty Sam was chasing poor Sweet Sue. He chased her to the old abandoned sawmill, and there he said,
If you don't give me the deed to your ranch, I'll saw you in half.
and then he grabbed her. And then he tied her up. And then he turned on the buzzsaw. And then along came Jones. Along came Jones. Well, the commercial came on, so I got up to get myself a snack. Some Twizzlers and Ding Dongs, to be in fact. But you should have seen what was going on by the time that I got back. Salty had chased poor Sweet Sue into the abandoned mine.
Help me! Help me!
He was chasing her all over
Help me!
until he was told us.
Help me!
You don't give me the deed to your ranch, I'll blow you to bits.
And then he grabbed her again. And then he tied her up again. And then he lit the fuse on the dynamite. And then along came Jones. Along came Jones. Slow talking, lonely lumberjack Jones.
I got away.
I'm gonna get this time. I'm gonna. Where is she going? Oh, where's she? No,
Well, I got so bugged, I turned on off, and I turned on another show. But there was the same old two of them in the same old rodeo. Salty was trying to stuff Sweet Sue in a burlap sack.
I'm over here.
Warm. Warm.
Over
No, hey, Warm. Hey.
I'll just do it myself. What kind of villain are you?
Close enough.
What kind of villain?
if you don't give me the deed to your ranch, I'll throw you on the railroad tracks.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Well, you're pitiful.
And then he grabbed her.
I just do it myself. Oh,
And then he tied her up.
where's my
During the long, hot days on the trail, there was one particular challenge when the camp was set up for the night. In preparation for the evening meal, campfires began to be lit. And with the fires came the bugs.
Do 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 ba do do ba do do ba do ba do ba do ba do
When the night is long and the fire's aglow and the bugs are the only thing you see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you spray with me. So brothers, sisters, spray with me. Oh, spray with me. Won't you spray? Spray with me. Spray with me. When the sky that we look upon shall be filled with bugs and the mayflies and the chiggers come for us.
No, I won't scratch and itch. No, I won't scratch and itch. Just you spray. Spray with me. Spray with me. So brother, sister, spray with me. Oh, spray with me. Won't you spray? Spray with me. Spray with me. When the gnats are here and they all fly near in your ears, in your nose, and in your mouth, just grab a can and spray with me. Oh, spray with me. Won't you spray? Spray with me. Spray with me. Don't spray it in my face, just spray with me. Oh, spray with me. Won't you spray? Spray with me. Spray with me. Spray with me. Spray with me.
As families began to be settled in their new land, calls to preach the gospel continued to come. In 1852, Serge Louis Balif entered the waters of baptism in Lausanne, Switzerland. He was a highly educated man, spoke 8 languages, and a man of great respect in his community. After his baptism, he was rejected by his community and his extended family. He faithfully obeyed the call to come to Zion with his wife and young children and attempted to learn the life of a farmer. Upon obtaining property and beginning the construction of a small cabin, the bishop dropped by. He proceeded to call Serge on a mission to his homeland, with instructions that he would need to leave the next day. Obedient to the call, he left his wife and young children to finish the home and toil the land alone.
What are we going to do? How will we survive?
The Lord is always taking care of us. He will provide.
God on high, hear my prayer. In my need, you strength, guide his way, bring him home, bring him home, bring him home. God's power and strength will bear us up. We will be strong, hope fills our cup. The summers die one by one, how soon they fly, on, and he'll be back, and we'll be home. We have hope, God will give, we'll be fine. Our fear won't last long. We have hope, God will give, we'll be back. Let him live. He'll come home. We'll be whole. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home.
On a Sunday night in 1834, the prophet Joseph Smith called on all who held the priesthood to gather into a little log schoolhouse located in Kirtland, Ohio. After calling upon the elders to share their testimonies of the work of salvation, he replied, "Brethren, I have been very much edified and instructed in your testimonies here tonight. But I want to say to you before the Lord that you know no more concerning the destinies of this church and kingdom than a babe upon its mother's lap. You don't comprehend it. It is only a little handful of priesthood you see here tonight, but this church will fill North and South America. It will fill the world." Today, that prophecy has been fulfilled. At the close of 2022, there were 17,002,461 members of the church in North and South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, and the Pacific Islands. God bless the gospel of Jesus Christ. This great work stands before us today. We are the gatherers our prophet has called upon. Let us stand strong and valiantly press forward in following Jesus Christ with footsteps of faith,